Cubes. Okay, not those kind of cubes, but we're going to talk about cubes. And the first thing I want to talk about is this here. Let's kind of look at some numbers to help us out with our work. This was my shortcut that I used in college. Kind of had a little cheat sheet. Like 2 cubed is 8, because 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 more is 8. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 more is 27. You get the idea? So 4 cubed is 64. 5 cubed, 125. 6 cubed, 216. 7 cubed, 343. 8 cubed, 512. And 9 cubed, 729. And of course, 10 cubed would be 1,000, but we don't usually going to keep the numbers kind of smaller ones like this. All right. So I kind of had these numbers in my mind here, and I kind of kept this little chart. And also know that x cubed is x and y cubed. That'd be the cube root of these. Okay, so x cubed. So here we go. Keep that in mind because we do this work. Ooh, but x to the sixth, the cube root would be x squared, because basically 6 divided by 3 is 2. And the same would be true for the y squared. Y6 y squared. Okay, and the ninth would be to the third. Basically divide these by 3 to find those cubed roots, or if you cube these, it would be the x9. That's going to be important for us because we're going to work this out. And we're not talking about Rubik's cubes here, but the sum of the cubes, because they're going to tell us 8x cubed plus 27 is, say, factor it. And the reason I use the word cubes is because I recognize these as cubes. Like the cube root of 8 was 2, and the cube root of 27 is 3. But notice this has an x cubed, so it's not just a 2, it's a 2x and a 3. And because this is a plus, I know this 3 is positive. So I already know one of my factors is 2x plus 3. And here's how I can find the second part, which is very simple. Basically, take the 2x cubed and divide it by my 2x, which means it will be a 4x squared. And take the 27 and divide it by the 3, which is a 9. And then the middle term here that I'm going to need will just be this. It'll be 2x times the 3 times negative 1. Got to add the negative 1, or in a sense, or just flip the signs, because 2x times 3 is 6x, but I need to make it negative. I just factored the sum of cubes, because if you FOIL this, you will get this top part right up here, the x cubed plus 27, because of the way the values cancel out. So once again, take the first term, divide it by cube rooted, the last term cube rooted, that's your first answer. And then you divide the first and last terms by each of those individual terms. And then you just multiply them to get the second term, provided you also multiply it by negative 1. There's a little bit of a formula there for that, and you can see it right here. That's just what I just talked about. Here's another one. Let's try it. What's the cube root of x cubed? It would just be an x. The cube root of 125 would be 5. So I know that I have an x plus 5. And then I also know then that I'm going to come over here and I can square these, or take the x cubed divided by x and the 125 divided by 5. And then what's x times 5 times negative 1? Negative 5x. There's my little negative 1. So